Right now at 5, the crash leads to gunfire and a deadly police shooting in Miami, Oklahoma.
And we've got scattered shower and thunderstorm chances, isolated today but picking back up overnight. Details coming up.
Plus, a Kansas City firefighter who killed 3 people gets approval to drive fire trucks again. An arbitrator rules Dominic Biscari deserves back pay and only a 3-day suspension.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, September the 22nd, and we had a few strong to severe thunderstorms over the weekend. And we've got that opportunity once again as we head into the overnight hours and really into early tomorrow. So we're going to start with a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We also have a lot of dense fog out there. Looking okay. You can see it's a little hazy looking from our camera in downtown Pittsburgh. Same from the MoDOT camera here at 20th and Rangeline in Joplin. The fog tracker, this is Skywatch Storm Tracker. There's a lot to talk about. We have a few scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder down into Benton County. And at this point, we've got this activity here. We could get 1 or 2 isolated storms this morning. And then we're going to spend most of the day dry before we see the return of rain chances tonight. Take a look at this. We've got most of southeast Kansas and parts of northeastern Oklahoma with very low visibilities. We've got 0 visibility. Iola Yates Center, we're under a mile. Pittsburgh, Miami, Parsons, Independence, Sedan, and not doing much better. Nowata, Veneta, and then we have slightly reduced visibilities off to the east. But as you can see, other than Fort Scott, we don't have anybody out there right now with clear skies or clear visibility. And so you really need to take this seriously. I mean, we're talking a huge chunk of our region with significantly reduced visibility. So low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights if you've got them. Give yourself time to get where you're going. Leave plenty of stopping distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you because you may not be able to see that vehicle ahead of you, okay? For today, again, an isolated storm or 2 this morning. Could get another one roughly between 7 and 9 this evening, but we're otherwise going to be dry and just looking at mostly cloudy to just straight up cloudy skies. We're going to get a little pause in the shower and thunderstorm activity before we see it return overnight tonight again and Tuesday and Wednesday. We're sitting at 62 in Joplin, 61 in Pittsburgh right now, and across the area temperatures a bit on the cool side, but seasonably cool for some. We've got low mid 60s across the area. And remember, our average low is about 60, so we're not quite there, but again, could be a lot warmer, which we have seen here lately. Kids heading out the door this morning. Again, maybe an isolated storm or 2, mid 60s. By lunch and recess, we're mostly cloudy, upper 70s and low 80s as the time they head home, and that's where our highs are headed for today. We'll be near 70 by 9, upper 70s by noon. Our highs today, low to mid 80s with a south breeze at 5 to 10. Now, the thunderstorm chances that are increasing overnight tonight into tomorrow do have a strong to severe thunderstorm risk associated with them. We're going to break down those details for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. So a 2-vehicle crash ends in exchange of gunfire with officers in Miami, Oklahoma. Reports of a crash in Miami were reported around 11:50 yesterday morning. Miami Police Chief Stephen Sigmund says the driver had an altercation in which one fired a weapon at the other before fleeing the scene. The gunshot victim suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police officers caught up with the suspect who did not comply with police commands before pointing his weapons at officers. Gunfire was exchanged. The suspect was struck, then rushed to the hospital before succumbing to his injuries.
As is normal with an officer-involved shooting here in the city of Miami, we contact Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. They are on scene now. They will process it. As is procedure, my officers will be off with pay pending results of the investigation.
The name of the deceased has not been released pending next of kin. And in Missouri, an arbitrator has ruled a Kansas City firefighter involved in a 2021 crash that killed 3 people can return to driving fire trucks. Rachel Henderson reports.
The firefighter who drove a KCFD pumper truck almost 4 years ago, who ran a red light, crashed, killing 3 people at this intersection, has now received approval from an arbitrator to drive again. This news comes as a shock to friends and family.
You know, they died leaving work here, walking right through there.
The emotions are still as raw as they were for Laura Norris 3 years ago.
You just couldn't breathe, you know, and it's not okay. 2
of her former employees, Jennifer San Nicolas and Michael Elwood, were leaving work when a fire truck hit them. The driver, Dominic Biscari, also hit a pedestrian, later identified as Tammy Knight.
We don't think Dominic should walk away from this unscathed at all. He killed 3 people.
An arbitrator affirmed the latest ruling in the lengthy legal timeline earlier this month. He decided it was okay for Biscari to drive a fire truck again, receive back pay, and only be suspended for 3 days.
It's unbelievable.
Tim Dollar is the attorney representing the Elwood family.
And Mr. Biscari had expressed remorse, which is all positive. That does not mean that the family wanted him to return to a safety-sensitive position at the fire department.
The attorney representing KCFD's union shared a statement Tuesday. In it, he says Local 42 is satisfied with the final arbitration. It read, in part, the arbitrator's findings revealed some procedural missteps in how the city handled the matter from the beginning, particularly its failure to provide the protections guaranteed by the collective bargaining agreement and longstanding city policy. Both the city and the arbitrator declined to comment on this ruling. The next step involves the Jackson County Circuit Court judge.
But the circuit judge has no discretion. The circuit judge must simply follow the contract and confirm the arbitration award.
He says the family is remaining hopeful, something Norris says is difficult but necessary.
I remember thinking last night when I read this, and I was like, what more do we do? But we'll find out. We'll find out, and we'll do it.
And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can always download the KOAM News app, available free of charge in the app store of your choice. All you have to do is just search for the KOAM News app. 14 different JROTC programs from across the region participated in the Ultimate Raider Challenge at Camp Crowder. Each team goes through obstacles, which includes 30-pound rucksack carrying, a 5K run, an obstacle course, and more. Teamwork is required as they are graded on not getting penalties and speed.
Seeing these young high school students, all the way from freshman to senior, participating together, working together, not just as a school, but we all work together. We cheer each other on. Just leads everything in our values as far as serving our community, and we do it together today.
Well, Rapha International held an open house Friday at its new location in Joplin. KOAM's Kenny Foreman tells us more.
For 22 years, Rapha International has provided a safe space in Joplin for victims of child slavery and sexual exploitation. As a thank you for everyone who has supported them, the organization held an open house at its brand new location on East 20th Street.
We wanted to celebrate with the community. We just have finished the outside and the inside. We finished all of our office spaces, and we wanted to share and celebrate this exciting time with the community. We wanted to invite those who have carried us and who have got us to this point.
After spending the past 5 years on South Main Street, an increase in staff size prompted a desire for more space. The building features different types of rooms, including light, movement, and art therapy. Chief Clinical Officer Angie Brower says it allows the staff to dedicate time to multiple children at once.
Now we have enough room that if every one of our therapists and our master's level interns were in session at the same time, we have space for all of them.
Brower says she prides herself in being there for those in need. Given that many of them have experienced trauma, she understands her role in providing them with a safe space.
Be authentic and be a great listener, build rapport, get to know them in the ways they want to be known. Don't demand things from them that they're not ready to share. Spend time with that child. The same is true for an adult.
While today was a celebration of success in Joplin, the organization hopes to expand its efforts even further.
Our hope is to be able to obviously serve more people who are in need of trauma-focused care. Also, our hope is to be able to expand the Hope and Healing Center, not only to be here in Southwest Missouri, but to other locations in the United States that are in therapy deserts where they need more trauma-focused and trauma-based care.
In Joplin, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
The organization started in Joplin before expanding to locations in Haiti, Cambodia, and Thailand as well. Let's look at this morning's top stories and weather. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Erica Kirk forgives her husband's accused killer at an emotional memorial. Plus, Cherokee County is giving away life-saving harm reduction items for free. And we have scattered storms across the 4 states. Chris has another look at your 7-day forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:09. We'll be right back. Topping a nation watch, tens of thousands of people packed into an Arizona stadium yesterday to pay their respects to Charlie Kirk, the conservative activist and influencer who was shot and killed during a public debate at Utah University earlier this month. Now, more than a dozen speakers praised Kirk and his legacy. President Trump called Kirk a great American hero. Kirk's widow, Erica, vowed to carry out her husband's mission. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
I forgive him.
During an emotional tribute, Erica Kirk told thousands of mourners she forgives the man accused of killing her husband, conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
Moments later, President Trump took the stage and sounded a different note.
That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent.
In his remarks, the president praised Charlie Kirk.
He's a martyr now for American freedom.
And veered into politics.
Tariffs are making us rich again. We're going to save Chicago.
The president was seen smiling and chatting with former advisor, billionaire Elon Musk, as top officials took to the stage, some issuing a call to action in Kirk's name.
For Charlie, we will rebuild this United States of America to greatness.
They cannot imagine what they have awakened.
President Trump again said he plans to posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom soon. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
On his way back to Washington last night, President Trump praised the efforts of the Department of Justice in the case against Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old man charged with killing Charlie Kirk. Utah prosecutors say they plan to pursue the death penalty in his case. Well, still to come, The Price is Right launches a new season with its biggest prize ever. Plus, tracking scattered storms, Chris has another look at your Monday forecast. Well, The Price is Right is back with a new high-stakes game, and Swifties are scrambling for tickets for a major theatrical event. Gwen Baumgardner has your Eye on Entertainment report.
You're going to play our brand new game.
An all-new season of The Price is Right kicks off today on CBS with a new game.
It's your chance to win the lion's share.
Called The Lion's Share, the high-stakes pricing game is a collaboration between BetMGM and Fremantle. It's the first custom-branded game in the show's history.
The contestants can win up to $500,000, so it's an incredible experience for the show, for the contestants, one of the biggest prizes in the show's history.
New episodes of The Price is Right, hosted by Drew Carey, air weekdays on CBS. Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera star in a gripping new film about one of California's deadliest wildfires.
I have 22 kids on that bus. I gotta get them to their parents.
Inspired by real events, The Lost Bus tells the story of a school bus driver and teacher fighting to save 22 children during the 2018 Camp Fire. The Lost Bus is out in select theaters now and hits Apple TV Plus October 3rd. And Taylor Swift returns to the big screen to mark the release of her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, October 3rd. From the 3rd through the 5th, fans can hit AMC theaters nationwide to see Taylor Swift, the official release party of A Showgirl. The film includes the exclusive world premiere of Swift's new music video, The Fate of Ophelia, along with never-before-seen footage from the making of the album. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgardner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at today's forecast.
Yeah, we are doing all right this morning. Could get an isolated shower or storm this morning, and then thunderstorm chances will increase overnight into Tuesday, and some of those could be strong to severe. We're going to break down the timing of those storms and what you need to know when we come back. Time now is 5:19. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. Just coming in, and so I'll get the graphic for you next time I see you. We now have a dense fog advisory, which is of no surprise at this point, for parts of northeastern Oklahoma and a good chunk of southeastern Kansas, and that is exactly why. Look at all of these visibilities, well under a mile. Yates Center and Iola both at 0. Fredonia, Chanute, Sedan, Independence, Parsons, Miami, all less than a mile, and we've got significantly reduced visibilities outside of that. In fact, right now, there's not a single community in our area that's not being impacted by some kind of fog, but the densest fog in our western counties this morning. So again, the emphasis on low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights, if you've got them, slow down. Maybe leave a little earlier today, because you're going to run into those spots where you're not going to be able to see anything, and you're going to have to really slow down. You don't want to try and speed through this stuff where you can't see anything, because of course there's deer and other animals out there. There'll be other drivers out there. So just play it safe this morning. Make sure you're taking the appropriate precautions with the dense fog, especially if you're traveling into southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma this morning. So a couple of isolated showers, rumbles of thunder, Benton County now working into parts of extreme southern McDonald and Berry counties in the southwest Missouri. And we're going to have an opportunity for an isolated shower to the storm this morning, and then we'll have another brief window later this evening, and then overnight that's when things really start to change, and we do have a severe threat as we head into the overnight hours as well. Now this is day one, which is technically today, but this is going to carry in overnight tonight into early tomorrow, where we do have an isolated tornado risk in parts of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, and same with hail across southeast Kansas, and then we have this wind risk across a good portion of the area as well, with storms overnight tonight, very early Tuesday morning. So again, these are all level 1 out of 5 risks, but nonetheless, they are there and all hazards are possible. Here's what we're looking at today. Again, mostly cloudy to straight up cloudy skies. An isolated shower storm be possible, not much expected. It's going to be very early tomorrow morning after about 3 or 4 a.m. and we're stopping here at 5. We're starting to see showers, thunderstorms increasing in coverage across the area. This is where we're going to see that window for strong to severe thunderstorms begin to open up. So again, one of those more unusual times where usually, we get our strong severe storms late evening, overnight. These are going to be into the early morning hours, and take a look at these thunderstorms as they push through the area. Here we are at 9. Showers, thunderstorms continuing. And in all honesty, we have this risk for strong to severe thunderstorms continuing through the majority of the day tomorrow as well. Now, by tomorrow afternoon, we also may see a brief pause in some of this activity before we see more shower and thunderstorm activity develop and begin to push through by the evening hours. It's a little more scattered later in the day, but we're not quite done with that possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms, as we could get another complex pushing through southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, and eventually getting parts of Missouri and Arkansas. And then we'll have additional scattered showers and storms as we head into our Wednesday. At this point, no severe risk areas highlighted for Wednesday, but we do have tomorrow, again tonight and tomorrow. And that's why tomorrow, this is a separate risk for day 2. As all that activity begins to shift, we again have the isolated tornado risk, but this time in the southeastern portion of our region. And we do have an isolated to scattered, so that yellow is that level 2 out of 5 risk for large hail and damaging wind gusts out there. So a lot to keep an eye on. It's a little unusual for September. We can get severe weather any time of the year, but with something we certainly want to keep an eye on, and make sure you're weather aware as we start the day tomorrow. Again, otherwise, mostly cloudy this morning, upper 60s to start, mid 70s by 11, and we'll eventually make it to the low to mid 80s today. The rain chances, though, keeping our temperatures a bit below normal into the upper 70s, and then we'll start to dry out and warm back up as we head into this upcoming weekend. But again, tonight into tomorrow, definitely want to keep an eye on the weather, and we'll keep you updated on any strong or severe storms in the region. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, declining vaccination rates among kids in Texas will lead to more measles outbreaks. A study published in JAMA found in some Texas counties, MMR vaccination rates among kindergartners have dropped 10% over the last 10 years. The study predicts measles outbreaks and hospitalizations will increase substantially. Doctors say this highlights the importance of raising measles, mumps, and rubella vaccination rates. Well, a warning about children's exposure to common household items that contain plastic. An NYU Langone health report found toxic chemicals added to industrial and household goods may contribute to health issues that can stick with kids for life, including heart disease, obesity, infertility, and asthma. This study recommends replacing plastic containers with glass or stainless steel and avoiding the avoiding microwaving or dishwashing plastic. Well, poverty and social disadvantages could affect fertility. Families in low-income homes were less likely to conceive than women with higher incomes and a higher educational level, according to a study published in JAMA. However, the research also showed income did not seem to have an impact on miscarriage rates. Well, the Cherokee County Health Department is giving away harm reduction products to the public. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more.
The Cherokee County Health Department is offering harm reduction items for no cost. The harm reduction items, including Narcan, fentanyl test strips, and condoms, are vital to saving lives and protecting health.
Anyone who takes an opioid, whether you take it illicitly or if you take it given for a prescription, if you have those medications in your possession, you need to have a dose of Narcan on hand at all times.
The health department wants the community to know that these items are not for a certain group of people. They're for everybody, no matter your situation.
Probably one of the biggest points that I want to stress is that it's not about individuals necessarily, everyone. It is about everyone having that opportunity to have that if they have those kind of medications.
The products are provided to the health department at no cost, which means they can distribute them at no cost to the community.
The Narcan and the fentanyl strips are donated through DECA, so we apply for those and we request a certain amount, and then they ship those to us with no cost. We also have another program that we can get those supplies through called AmeriCares as well, so we do receive some Narcan from there as well.
The resources provided to the community for free helps people with financial struggles receive help without paying a dime. Reporting in Cherokee County, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The harm reduction box is located in the alley behind the Cherokee County Health Department. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, neighbors and families unite to support local art in downtown Pittsburgh.
And a lot going on in the weather department. We've got dense fog, we've got thunderstorm chances. We'll break it down for you coming up.
Plus, officials in one southwest Missouri town urge water conservation efforts during current drought conditions.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:32. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, September the 22nd, and we got a lot going on. Now today, other than fog this morning, not a lot today, but it's as we head into tomorrow that we've really got to keep an eye on things. We're going to start, though, with a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and if you look close enough, you can see off in the distance there's a little bit of a glow, and that is simply from the lights and the fog out there. Downtown Pittsburgh looks okay so far. Modoc camera 20th and Rangeline, also a little bit hazy, nothing too crazy, but a little bit out there with some of that fog. And we do have some isolated thunderstorms, parts of Benton County, at far southern McDonald and Berry counties into southwestern Missouri, and that chance is going to be there this morning. It's a very isolated chance, but a storm or two will be possible, mainly south of I-44. And that's really about it. It's part of this complex that's, again, a little further south, and it's continuing to push on out of the area and roll to the east, and then we'll eventually see an uptick in storm chances as we head into tomorrow, or tonight and tomorrow. Here's a look. I promised you I'd show you the graphic. Now we've got it here. The dense fog advisories, parts of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, all running through 9 o'clock this morning, and that is simply because we've got very dense fog along and west of 69, really. Iola Yates Center, still zero visibility. Independence, Fredonia, Chanute, Parsons, Sedan, Miami, well under a mile on this visibility. Still Newata, Veneta, Grove, reduced visibilities, and as you can see, reduced visibilities everywhere, but the further west you head, the denser that fog gets, and you've got to slow down, low beams, not your high beams, fog lights if you've got them, leave distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you, if you can even see the vehicle ahead of you, and drive, again, slowly. Just drive slowly. Be prepared to be a little late this morning, so maybe if you can, leave a little earlier this morning to make sure you get where you're going on time. Future track for today, we are looking again at mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. An isolated shower storm is possible. We have a window this morning. We'll have another brief window from about 7 to 9 this evening, I think. Again, very isolated. It'll be overnight and into Tuesday that things really begin to ramp up, which we will go over those details with you as well. All right, here we've got temperatures low to mid 60s for the majority of us. We've got 66 Veneta, Cassville, and Bentonville. But outside of that, again, not that far from average. Still, most of us above normal, but again, could be worse too. We've seen warmer starts to the day. So an isolated storm or two as kids head out the door. I think the majority of us are dry, mid 60s, upper 70s by lunch and recess, and in the low 80s as they head home. We'll go near 70 by 9, upper 70s by noon, and our highs today low to mid 80s. Even though it's going to be a bit on the cloudy side, we'll still warm up a bit. Now we do have the thunderstorms increasing tonight into tomorrow. Some of those could be strong to severe, and all hazards are possible with those storms. We're going to break down the timing because it's multiple rounds of storms and multiple severe weather situations, and we're going to go over all the details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, it was a collector's paradise at this year's Joplin Collectors Expo. The event featured more than 60 vendors offering 140 tables filled with a variety of collectibles such as sports cards, comic books, toys, and more. A new addition this year was the Legoland Room with Lego Master Tim Hutchings. Attendees could also participate and win prizes in a cosplay contest.
It's just a fun time to get together and share something in common, like interests. You get a couple celebrities every time. So like now we have Shaun Weiss and Samantha Newark. Shaun Weiss was in the Mighty Ducks. Samantha Newark was Jim from the Holograms.
Now each purchase of one bowl feeds around 15 people by supporting We Care of the Four States, Hope Kitchen, and Watered Gardens Ministry. About 1,000 bowls were made by more than 30 artists from across the Four States area.
People come at pre-sales here at the greenhouse and they purchase their bowls for themselves, but then they'll also start buying for loved ones for the holidays for this year. There's something truly for everyone, and each bowl is unique and beautiful and different, and it represents local hunger relief.
The pre-sale ends on September 27th, and downtown Pittsburgh came alive Saturday as the Pittsburgh Art Council hosted its fall art walk. Booths lined the streets with everything from fine art and handmade crafts to food trucks and live music, creating a festival-style atmosphere for the community. Unlike other community events that often feature local businesses, Art Walk shines a spotlight on individual artists. Some sold their work, others simply shared their creative talents. And for many, the highlight is seeing neighbors, friends, and families come together in support of local art.
I think, a lot of times you'll have maybe places that are just a business in town having a booth or something like this, but this really just brings out individuals to be able to come out. You don't even have to necessarily sell anything. You can just kind of show the creative art that you do. So that's very nice.
Well, now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KLAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. The KLAM Plus TV streaming app. Armadillos are on the move in many places and ripping up yards. Wildlife experts say the dillas may be creating burrows or they're digging for food. Now, they do enjoy insects and grubs. However, they are ways that you can try and keep them from making a mess of your landscaping.
If you have a problematic armadillo, something that's digging around your house, digging around your garden, the Wildlife Code of Missouri does allow you to dispose of that animal. I mean, you can live trap it and move it, but you can also just shoot it too if it's causing problems.
Well, be advised, armadillos can carry leprosy, so wear gloves if you need to move an armadillo off of your property. Well, drought conditions continue for some areas of Missouri as Garrett Hamilton explains. Despite the rain, some in the southwest region are being asked to limit their water use.
The body of water you see right here next to me directly feeds into the groundwater supply for parts of southwestern Missouri. Now, despite seeing thunderstorms yesterday, people in Nixa are still being encouraged to conserve water.
The city of Nixa uses 9 wells to access groundwater, and the water table, which is the maximum height of water in an aquifer, normally rests between 290 and 300 feet below ground. With the recent drought only continuing to get worse, levels have fallen to 370 feet. This has prompted city leaders to advise people to conserve water. Despite the rain yesterday and the potential for showers next week, the water table will not return to normal levels because it can take several weeks for the water to permeate the soil. Officials say to conserve, but not to worry, as it isn't completely out of the ordinary.
The same situation that we've had for the past 3 or 4 years, usually around July and August when it starts drying up.
Officials in Nixa say some of the best ways to conserve water include only watering your lawn every other day and limiting the number of times you're washing your car. As the weather gets cooler, they say be mindful of how much water you're using at home. And let's look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. 6 in 10 companies plan to lay off workers next year. Plus, movie ticket sales plummet nearly 50% this weekend. We'll have the latest time now, 5:40. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Well, in Consumer Watch, more than 3,000 pounds of Kirkland signature brand ahi tuna wasabi poke in clear containers have been recalled over concerns that the product could be contaminated with listeria. The poke was sold by Costco stores in more than 30 states across the U.S. The FDA says no illnesses have been reported so far. Consumers should throw away the product and return to their local Costco for a full refund. Well, amid signs of an already cooling labor market, there are new concerns over job cuts. A Resume.org survey of 1,000 U.S. business leaders found that 6 in 10 companies plan to lay off workers next year. 1 in 3 say they'll implement layoffs before the end of 2025. According to the report, economic uncertainty is the main reason given for the job cuts. The workers most at risk are high earners and those lacking AI skills. Well, in domestic movie ticket sales were down over the weekend by nearly 50% compared to last weekend. Demon Slayer: Infinity Castle was the top film, taking in more than $17 million. The Jordan Peele-produced football horror film Him debuted second with more than $13 million, and another horror flick, The Conjuring: Last Rites, rounded out the top 3, also scaring up around $13 million. That's a look at Consumer Watch. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at today's forecast.
Yeah, we're dealing with some dense fog across a good portion of southeast Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma this morning. And then we're tracking the potential for severe thunderstorms late tonight into Tuesday. Details when we come back. Time now, 5:44.
Well, for the first time in several years, a sitting U.S. president may be heading to China. Details in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clinton Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. President Trump says he will meet Chinese President Xi Jinping at a regional summit next month and will then visit China in the early part of next year. Now, it follows a phone call between the two leaders on Friday. In a Truth Social post, President Trump also said the Chinese leader would come to the U.S. at an appropriate time. Now, this marked the second call with President Xi since President Trump returned to the White House and launched tariffs on China. Still, no deals have been announced on tech export restrictions or Chinese buys of U.S. ag products, especially soybeans. New information about a deadly explosion at a biofuels plant in Nebraska. It happened in July at Horizon Biofuels in Fremont, northwest of Omaha. An independent federal board now saying preliminary evidence points to a combustible wood dust explosion. 2 girls and their father died in that explosion. Investigators say the girls were waiting for their father in the break room while he worked at the facility. And Uber Eats may soon make some meal deliveries with drones. Uber Technologies announcing it's partnering with drone company Flytrex. The companies expect to begin deliveries in test markets by the end of this year. Uber didn't say where those markets will be, but Flytrex is already operating in Texas and North Carolina. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
Let's head over now to Chris for a full look at your forecast.
And again, we are starting with some dense fog across the area, and as such, we have dense fog advisories for a good portion of southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma through 9 o'clock this morning. And again, that is simply our visibilities have dropped significantly. Yates Center, you've come up a bit. You've been at 0 with Iola all morning long. Iola is still at 0, but you can see Iola, Fort Scott, Chanute, Yates Center, Fredonia, Parsons, Independence, Sedan, Miami, all with visibilities below a mile. And again, in Iola, for example, down to 0. This is very dense fog. It is encompassing the majority of the western half of our area, along and west of 69. Outside of that, there are still reduced visibilities outside of that zone as well. So you've got to slow down. Low beams, not your high beams. Fog lights, if you've got them, maybe leave a little early because you need to be prepared to be driving a lot slower than you might be used to for your morning commute. So just be prepared for that as you head out the door. So a few showers, rumbles of thunder, Benton County, parts of McDonald, Berry counties as well. All of this activity is continuing to push east. But again, a couple of pop-up storms will be possible south of I-44 through about 7 this morning. But I think the majority of us will be dry. We're going to have mostly cloudy skies out there. Now, late tonight begins our opportunities for some strong to severe thunderstorms. We have an isolated tornado risk out there, as well as hail and wind. The greater concerns will be with the large hail and damaging wind gusts, and you can see the wind risk encompasses majority of our area. It's all the level 1 out of 5 risk, which that's at least beneficial, but the risk is there, and it's something we've got to pay close attention to. So for today, again, mostly cloudy to just straight up cloudy skies. Will still be warm in the low to mid 80s. And again, between about 7 and 9, we'll have another window for maybe an isolated pop-up storm or two. Then we get after about 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, stopping at 5. Showers, thunderstorms. You saw this line that stretched from Yates Center, Chanute, back toward Lamar, fire up pretty quickly. This is one of those situations where we're going to have the risk for strong to severe thunderstorms in a slightly unusual time, very early tomorrow morning. So you'll want to keep it right here, get the KOAM Skywatch weather app, because we'll have these thunderstorms, and you can see this complex moving through. Here we are at 9. This entire day for Tuesday will have the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms. Now, by noon, we see some of the activity briefly drop off. And we still have thunderstorms out there. They could still be strong to potentially severe, but there's not as many of them by noon. But it's a short break before we start to see shower and thunderstorm chances pick back up as we head in Tuesday afternoon and evening. And then we've got this complex we're watching. Its exact track could change, but it's pushing in through southeast Kansas, diving southeasterly and into Oklahoma, parts of southwest Missouri by 9 tomorrow evening. It could also be strong to severe. And as we go into Wednesday, right now, no severe risk areas highlighted, but we will continue with shower and thunderstorm chances through a good portion of our Wednesday as well. So here's what we have: our severe risk, which is tonight into very early tomorrow morning. This is for the rest of the day tomorrow. Again, an isolated tornado risk, hail and wind, and you can see that yellow down there. That's that level 2 out of 5. Right now, just clipping Benton County, southeastern Delaware County, but it's still there as well. So we've got that chance, again, overnight and really into very early tomorrow morning, and then throughout the day tomorrow for strong to severe thunderstorms, something we've got to keep a close eye on again as we head into Tuesday. Otherwise, again, today, I think the majority of us are dry. We'll be near 70 by 8, mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today, low to mid-80s, and then as we go into tomorrow, and thanks to the rain, the cloud coverings, we have shower chances continuing through at least Thursday. Temperatures below normal, mid-upper 70s, looking pretty good. And as we head into the weekend and next week, we warm up, but not significantly. We'll just be a little above average going into the low to mid-80s. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with sports.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Missouri Southern soccer is back on the pitch for the start of MIAA play. The Lions take on Northeastern State, looking to get back above 500, but Southern gets off to a bad start, giving up the first 4 goals of the game to the River Hawks. The Lions respond with 2 goals early in the second half, but ultimately can't mount the comeback. So MSSU begins MIAA action 0-1. That's a look at sports. We'll be right back. Well, the Greenbush Day Pig Roast brought out crowds yesterday for a full day of food, fun, and festivities, all to support the St. Aloysius Historical Society. Attendees enjoyed a pulled pork, potato salad, baked beans, and homemade dessert from local bakers. The day featured family-friendly activities like face painting, open fishing, pony rides, barrel train rides, a kiddie tractor pull, and live music from the dueling band. An antique car show also drew plenty of eyes. Organizers say it was another successful year with lots of old friends reuniting, new ones made, and plenty of support for the Historical Society. Well, nature enthusiasts turned out at the Shoal Creek Conservation Education Center for this year's Fall Native Plant Sale and Monarch Festival. Visitors learned all about monarch butterflies with hands-on activities and educational tables explaining the butterfly's incredible annual migration to central Mexico and the best plans to help them thrive here in Missouri. Experts say planting milkweed is crucial for monarchs, but adding other native plants to your yard can also give them a big boost on their long journey.
Of course, monarch butterflies, very, very beautiful butterflies, very important to the area, and it's always amazing to see them. And you may still see some out there, but you're going to have to look pretty hard in the fog. I'm sure they're sleeping, but still. We have dense fog across southeast Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma this morning. We're going to be mostly cloudy and straight up cloudy, near 70 to start and mid-70s by 11 o'clock this morning. We'll head into the low to mid-80s today, and again, we could get an isolated shower storm this morning, which we've already seen down into the southern portions of our area, far southern McDonald, Berry counties, and into Benton County. Could get one or two more between now and 7. Otherwise, we will be dry. Now, tonight, through the evening, we're all right. Could get another isolated storm or two between about 7 and 9. They will fall back into the upper 60s tonight. Thunderstorm chances increasing, really ramping up after about 3 a.m. And then we've got this threat for strong to severe thunderstorms throughout the day on Tuesday with all hazards possible. So it's something that we're going to be watching. That's going to start with our storms as early as 3, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning, and again last through the majority of the day. So we've got to keep a close eye on that. Make sure you've got the KOAM Skywatch weather app. You can stream us on KOAM Plus. We'll keep you updated. Storms continue into Wednesday, wrapping up by Thursday, keeping our temperatures into the mid to upper 70s, and we'll warm up into the weekend. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.